To get us started. Are we ready?
I believe so.
All right. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. I think we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. I am your friend, your host, and your dungeon meister, Quinn. I can be found at Dungeons or Dragons here on Twitch and also on TikTok. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of Unlicensed Magic. We've got a great cast of people here with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and their characters really quickly in just a second. So we're going to go around the horn. And if everyone can please give me your name, your username where you can be found here on Twitch and or TikTok, and then at least one of your characters' names. I know some of your characters have like 5 or 6. We only need one for now. And then the tagline from their dating profile. Like when they come up on Tinder, what's that one sentence underneath when you're about to swipe left or right? So let's get started with Persephone. Yeah, because you're drinking your coffee and on mute, I'm starting with you.
Listen, that was not fair. Okay, my name is PersephoneAdora. Don't look at my profile. It's inappropriate. Fair warning. I play Emerity, aka Vora, aka the Silver Veil, aka Edgelord Supreme Pizza. And if there was a Tinder dating profile that she would have, it would say swipe left and I will probably end up finding you.
Okay. I think that's appropriate. Next up, Blondie.
Yeah, my character is May.
Well, who are you? Introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I mean, it's just my character that's important. It's not me. No, I'm sorry. I'm awake this morning. I am ThatOneBlondeNerd on TikTok and Twitch and literally anything else. Primarily D&D OC storyline creator. And my character is May. Otherwise known as Nightshade and maybe a few dozen other things. Just kidding.
You might hear the name Daisy tonight. Just a warning.
That's one of, I mean, she is a, super spy, works totally undercover, gets people out of bad places.
So what's the dating profile tagline?
Dating profile tag. That is definitely, swipe left for adventure. I think that's pretty much it.
There you go. Okay. Next up, CrazyGamerLady.
Hey, I am CrazyGamerLady on TikTok, and that's really about it for all social media. I play Akasi, the lizard folk druid, and her dating profile app, she's not much for dating, so all she can say is beware of thunder.
Appropriate.
I really thought she would say squishies. Something about squishies.
Give it time.
All right. Next up, Halfling Wizard.
Hey, everybody. Halfling Wizard. You can find me under Halfling Wizard just about everywhere. Twitch, TikTok, etc., etc. I am playing Nikolai Ikarin.
A lot of quotations today.
Yeah. Well, I've got like 8 different names or something. Nikolai's the one I go by the most. The one alias I go by the most. I am an elf wizard artificer. The original founder of Arcane Focus, which we'll be settling that today, I'm hoping. It's going to be a fight. I know it's going to be a fight. May, just so you know, May, it's going to be a fight. I already feel it.
No, we can talk our way out of it. We can resolve this peacefully. I know there's a lot of feelings there.
Y'all, the game ain't even started yet. Can we?
Just make sure if it does, you have to say it's going to be May. And then you please.
There you go.
If my Tinder tag.
Okay, I want to hear the Tinder tag because I know Halfling Wizard is good at this.
My Tinder tag would basically just be swipe left for an earth-shattering time.
Ooh.
Okay. Very confident. I like it. They say confidence is key. All right,
That's what
last
they
but
say.
certainly not least, the rest of us have been playing together for a little while, so thank you for your bravery in joining us midway. I think you can tell we're a bit of a crazy group. Bardic Sweet Tea, if you would introduce yourself and your character a little bit.
Hello, hello. My name is Sweet Tea. I'm under TikTok as Bardic Sweet Tea, same as Instagram, but you don't need to go there. I posted almost nothing on Instagram. I'm also on Twitch under Sweet Tea Games. I am going to be playing Vareth, the Furble Cleric. And Tinder tag. Would it be my Tinder tag or Vareth's Tinder tag?
His.
Vareth's. Okay, so that's good. I was not planning on doing this one. I guess I would say I have the healing touch you've been looking for.
Very nice. Very nice. So we're going to focus in on Vareth just a little bit. Warning for those on stream, I'm about to pull this back and show you my really bad map of the city of Freeport. So I'll let everyone's size adjust here. All right. So, Vareth, you have been in the city of Freeport for, what do we say, like 8 months, 6 months, a year?
You're asking. I apologize.
Yeah.
Probably about a couple months. I would say maybe 3 or 4 months.
Okay. And while you're here, what have you been doing?
I believe I just got finished training with the Parsifals in my healing abilities. Yes, and
That's right. So the Parsival family runs, they're the heads of the Harbor Masters, and you were studying with them.
yes. So I had literally just finished with them, and now I have been invited to a midnight meeting, if I've got that correctly.
That is correct. So the harbor masters mostly stay on a ship that's docked in the harbor, and if you can see on the roll 20, that's docked in the port over here, kind of under the place labeled Overtown. So you probably would have spent most of your time over there. That's kind of where a lot of the government functionaries live and work and stuff. The harbor masters have like a position because as druids in this harbor town, part of what they do is they keep the weather nice all year round so that the harbor never freezes, there's never any storms, ships can always come and go. So they're very useful. That's how they became so important. But they're druids, so they know healing magic, and that you've been working with them. But you're not exactly a druid yourself, are you?
No, I'm not. As far as I know, I am just a healer with astonishing healing abilities.
That's right. And how did you get set up to go and train with them?
So I was actually in the Northlands, I believe it's called, yes, and I was approached by a half elf named Jack, who was very nice, very kind man, very charismatic, and he gave me this grant to go train with the Parsifals. I guess he saw something in my healing abilities and thought I could hone that a little bit more.
That's right. I think he maybe even worked with you like for a little bit and taught you a thing or two about healing himself.
Oh, yes, he did.
Right? Yeah. Definitely. So while you've been in town, you've made friends with either out at a cafe or a bar or wherever you go, an elf named Cornelius, who has been trying to get you to join his secret club. And his secret club is very pro-magic. Warning to everyone at home, I'm about to shift the screen a little bit again on you, because we're going to go back to chat mainly. All right. Because one of the things that's true about this world, and especially this city, is that magic is strictly controlled. So like in the city of Freeport, you have to have a license to do magic. And in some countries on this continent, you're not allowed to do magic at all. So Vareth has a magic license, right?
I do. I have a level 2 magic license.
Okay, gotcha. Which is a higher level than anyone in the party has, but I think that's just because you have more important friends than they do right now.
I would say, yeah, absolutely.
So your friend Cornelius has been trying to get you to join his club, and he invited you to go with him to this meeting tonight at midnight. That's in the basement of a tavern called the Green Rose. I think you've been to the Green Rose a couple of times. It's pretty popular for Magic users.
Yeah,
like
I've
a
been there a
hangout.
few times. I don't think I've been to the basement yet, though.
No, I don't think you have been to the basement yet. So we're going to start with you coming in, and you guys, are you the sort of person who shows up a little bit early? Are you on time? Are you a little late? So the meeting's supposed to start at midnight. What time does Vareth show up?
Oh, I'm definitely the kind of guy who gets there early.
Okay, how early?
Probably about 15 minutes early. Just get a feel for the room. Try and see who's around, who seems friendly, because Vareth likes making friends.
He does, doesn't he? So it's a very small group when you get there. If you're getting there like 15 minutes early, I think we've established for the party so far. We know that Krata is typically very late. So Krata and Akasi, I don't think would show up on time, would they? Sorry.
Not really.
And then I think
They
everyone
have no
else.
concept of time.
Everyone else, I think you strike me as the sort of people who would be exactly on time. Is that right for Ikaron? Maybe not.
I think he's more like a especially right now with what's going on. I think he's more of like a enter this bad boy like Beyonce.
Okay, you're gonna roll up. Hold on. You're gonna roll up, 15, 20 minutes late with your best girls on your side. Is that what it's gonna be?
It's gonna be like right off to his right side, Like,
Yep.
Okay, I'm about it. So yeah, when Vareth gets there early, the only people who are going to be here are NPCs, and so you're there with Cornelius, and he takes you down the stairs, and the basement's maybe a little bit bigger than you would expect, and it's a stone basement. Freeport is itself sort of carved into the side of these massive cliffs, so the foundations of all of these buildings are in sort of that bedrock. And as you go down there, there's a really big round table. And there is one elf who is seated at that table. He's got kind of like long, dark hair. He's very gaudily dressed and very ostentatious. And he is sitting talking to someone who you recognize very well. He's having a conversation with Jack. And Jack is a very dashing half-elf. He's wearing a very nice suit, and he's got on a bolo tie. And the bolo tie's got a thick cordage to it. It's kind of stands out.
All right. So I guess I would like to go ahead and say hi to my friend Jack.
Yeah. So Cornelius will walk you down. I think he's trying to talk to you as you go. Like, you just kind of pay attention and don't worry about saying too much. I understand you don't know these people. And as you reach the foot of the stairs, Jack turns to you and says, "Oh, hello, Vareth. How are you?"
I just kind of like get really excited because like is a friend I haven't seen in a while. I was like, oh, it's my friend Jack. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, my boy? Your study period to be just about finishing up right now.
Yes, that's right. And the Possibles are a very nice family. Thank you for the grant.
Oh, most definitely. I knew if anyone was going to be able to work with the talent I saw in you, it was going to be Miss Valerie Parsival.
Yes, well, the Possible family has all been very nice to me.
Most definitely. I must say, I'm a little surprised to see you here tonight, but I'm not upset.
Oh, surprised? Why is that?
Well, I guess I didn't know that you knew Mogren. And the elf sitting next to him will turn and say, Jaffa, we have not been introduced yet. I am Mogren. It is nice to meet your acquaintance, Mr. Is it Vareth?
Yes, my name is Vareth. And I kind of extend my very large hand at him to give him a handshake.
And he will take it delicately. Shake. And he'll turn to Cornelius and kind of give him a look, and Cornelius will explain very quickly. Oh, yeah, Vareth is a very gifted healer. I think he'd be a great asset to Arcane Focus, especially since we've lost the assistance of the Knights of Justice very recently. So, might just help out. Plus, he's a nice guy. He's a nice. And Magrin, yes, very well. That is enough.
Do I know anything about the Knights of Justice?
You can roll a. I think that's probably best as a history check, but you can argue a different skill if you want.
No, history will work. First roll of the campaign.
All right, everyone. I should have my windows up so that we can see rolls in roll 20 off to the side here. Ooh, on a 6.
No.
You think like. A knight is a name for like a sort of soldier of a type, right? And justice is a good thing.
Okay, well, they sound like nice people. How did we lose them?
Margaret looks up for a second and he looks at you and he says, well, they've called away. They had more urgent business that they needed to attend to.
Okay. Fair enough. Makes sense. Knights, I assume, have very important itineraries.
Oh, yeah. Very important. Let's see. I did see Persephone dipped for a second. Do we have a note in the... she will be back. Her tea is almost done. Jack will, I think, turn to Magrin really quickly and say, I do think that Vareth might be a great asset to you here, especially if the person you're working against is who I think they are.
Is this something I should know about?
Oh, yeah, we will be talking about that tonight. I am expecting the arrival of a specialist I have put in charge of this mission, and I will be asking for his status report. I hear that earlier today even he had an altercation with the enemy, and we will be very interested to see what has come about from this.
Okay. I look forward to hearing everyone speak.
Very much. I think now might be a decent time to say that enough time has passed for Akasi and Krata to arrive. What do you think, Crazy Gamer Lady?
Sounds good.
All right. So, Akasi is a lizard folk and Krata is her brother. So there is actually family resemblance between the two lizards that come down the stairs. Krata is dressed in a very well-made suit. And it's kind of interesting to see... Because as a lizard folk, he's built different from most humanoids, right? Humans and elves and lizard folk are just built different. But he clearly has a very immaculate tailor because his suit is designed for his joints and all of it. Like, it works in a way that you wouldn't expect. I think especially Vareth, as a furbolg, someone who's bigger than average, you notice that, like, that's a well-made suit on a guy who probably has a hard time getting well-made suits. Akasi... Have you sort of citied up? Have you let your brother dress you up a little bit more Freeport, or are you still dressed more like where you came from? Why don't you describe that? Because he would allow you and help you to pick anything you would want.
I mean, Akasi's more in the tribal outfit just because she's still a little... She's not sure she's going to be staying in Freeport.
Okay.
Because she does still only bringing stuff and eventually going back.
Well, yeah. I think that's her plan for herself.
Yeah. Who knows where it goes, though.
Exactly. So I think as you come in, I don't think recognize anyone there, do you? You don't know... I know you don't know Jack. Have you met Magrin before?
No.
Okay.
I do not know anyone there but Krata.
Yeah, so Krata will get to the bottom of the stairs and he'll look at everyone and he'll say, hey, I don't know most of these squishies, and the one I know, I don't trust so well. But if I overheard them correctly, I think those other folks you've been hanging out with are gonna be here soon. So let's kind of like keep it calm until we get some backup, huh?
Very well, brother.
All right. Hey, Margaret, how you doing? It's been a long time. Everyone else, I'm Crota. I'm here representing the interests of the Reef Liberation Front. Winter sends her regards. She apologizes she couldn't be here tonight. This is my kid sister, Margaret. I know you must be Mr. Jack. Yes, and you are. And Cornelius says, "Not important." And then he points over at Vareth and says, "And yourself?"
Ah, Vareth, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. You know, I hate to be that guy, but I can see you're a big and tall gentleman. You wouldn't happen to be in need of an expert tailor, would you?
You know, I have noticed it's difficult to find clothing in my size.
Yeah, you know, like it's the squishies around here, right? They're all kind of the same size and shape. So let me give you my business scale. And he pulls out what is clearly a scale he has shed that is like he's kept and hardened, and he's written like an address on it. And you see his name, Krata, and it says the Lounging Lizard. And the address is called the Five Florium Emporium, and it's on like the second turn. And he hands it to you. He's like, "You stop by my shop. You know, I'll give you a fitting for free, and we'll work something out. I think especially if we're going to be working together in the future, it's always great to be able to help each other out. You know what I mean?"
And I eagerly accept the scale. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I'll make sure.
Definitely, most definitely. We're waiting on what? We got like 2-3 more people coming. And Margaret says, "Velsa is at least the one, but I would not be surprised if he brings an entourage. He does like to make an entrance." And then I think that's a great time with the dramatic irony for you to make your entrance.
I hate him.
So how do Nikolai, May, and Emerity roll in?
I don't know, ladies. How do we roll in? I'm not
think,
gonna, you know.
I mean, I think like at least May is gonna be just like right off his right shoulder, like just right behind him. Like we're doing this together. We're a team. But I'm like, yeah, because he knows you. He knows that Karin's a threat, and like she's gonna be right off his shoulder, like I'm the right hand right here, you know, with just little touch of that like shadow thing, you know, just add a little bit of drama to it, you know, just like.
I also think that probably on our way over to down here, I probably told both of them to expect trouble.
Mm-hmm. Now I do know.
So we're gonna.
I do know that Blondie as May has a new ability that she picked up with a feat at level 4 that we've kind of homebrewed up. Do you want to introduce those two to that right now? Because I think you'd use it.
Yeah. So like, as May was sleeping last night, she woke up and she's pretty good with like, you know, kind of the telepathy and the mental magic, and it just had kind of expanded a little bit, and she was playing around with it and realized she could reach out now to more than one person at a time via kind of like that message thing she does. But now she can get you guys both. So she would have told you on the way, like, hey, I think I can get you guys both, and you know, or even more people into a call line. You know?
That's awesome.
So yes, you could
party line.
So we can all talk.
For anyone wondering what we're doing, Blondie's character has a little bit of a custom race situation going on, and a few spell things and abilities that are going along with that. So she took the telepathic feat. We decided that means she can open up a group channel. So you guys are going to be able to, at least those of you who she wants to let do it, secretly communicate while you're all together. But there's only one channel, and you do have a new familiar as well. Remind us all what his name is.
Oh yes, I have my little white cranium rat, and his name is Thaddeus Thackeray III. I'm not sure what happened to the first two, but that's what he told me his name is. He's very, sophisticated. And as soon as I get back to the 5 Floor Emporium, he's going to have a little bow tie, I think.
Nice.
He's adorable. He's really cute. And we can talk, we're like, yeah.
So since you only have one channel and he's your familiar, Triple T is always in the channel when you have it open.
Triple, yeah. Yeah.
So did you bring him with to the meeting or did you leave him home?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, like I've got like a little pocket that I usually keep like useful, like important stuff in, and like he's in that pocket right now.
Okay. So actually, I think before you guys come down the stairs, as you enter the building, he's gonna send you a message, and he's gonna say, "Mom, mom, mommy, mom, 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 mommy,
that is
there's other rats here.
Wait, what? There's other rats here.
There's other rats here in the walls.
Oh, rats like you or normal rats?
I could find out.
Okay.
Should I go find out?
Sure. Can you reach them with your mind?
And you see he's confused a little bit, and I think you know that you could do that through him, but he can't do it himself.
Okay. So could she reach in and like try to connect to these rats?
Why don't you make me a spell casting roll?
Just plus the ability modifier?
Yeah, just like as if you're trying to two-hit with a spell.
Yeah, that's a 23.
A 23? Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. There's a number of mundane rats here, but there are also 3 rats like him with the exposed magical brain thing going on. And they, so you ping them, right? You send them like a, hey, what's up? And they each report back to you with a number. One of them just says, I am number 456. I am number 312. I am number 721.
Who are you talking to? Who do you report to? Do you report to someone or you just talk to each other?
All 3 of them ping back. We are connected to the server called Orchid.
Excuse you? The what?
What is your status? Report. And they're all pinging you with the word report over and over again.
Status confused? I'm just kidding. What do you mean report?
They all stop. One of them starts moving. And it's like running down a wall. And in a couple of seconds, it's like running away down the street.
Uh-oh.
The other 2 just stay where they are.
I'm going to call out that one that's trying to leave and say, stop.
It's not going to listen, and it's very closely approaching the end of as far as your ability to sense it. You've muted yourself.
I hope it's not an issue in the future, but with how the last few days have gone, I wonder what Lilith's going to report back to headquarters. And I need to talk to Aliana. This is all in her head.
Mom.
Yeah?
Do you want me to do I could go take care of those other rats.
Do you want to kill the other rats?
He's making this gesture with his rat hand like, what do you want me to do?
Do you think you can take care of those rats?
Could I borrow the shadow blade?
Sure.
So he scampers up out of your pocket, and you watch him kind of like run as quietly as he can over to like a wall with a hole. And you feel him cast the spell as he goes into the hole. He actually reaches up to that exposed portion of the brain where there's that silver color that matches your magic. And he pulls the shadow blade out of there and mark off your level 2 spell slot. And he runs into the wall wielding the Shadow Blade. And at any time, you can see through his eyes. He's your familiar.
Yeah. I'm going to take a second and watch what he does, because this is all very new.
Yeah, he's very confident, but he's running. It takes him a second to get towards those rats. But essentially, so a Shadow Blade deals like 2d8 damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these sorts of rats have like 3 to 5 HP. So he's just lightsabers those rats for you. Takes him a couple of turns, and I think he probably. I know when he's going to come back and join you, but he's going to finish that job. It's not a problem for him.
Okay. Well done. I'm going to refocus on these guys and open up a channel to Emerity and Nikolai at least.
Yeah. So then you guys have your big entrance. Let's see.
So yeah, I think what it is we're coming down these stairs. We're all like confident and and it's sort of, you could almost hear like as we perceive it, it would be like you could hear like Riding, by Chameleon Air and Crazy Bone playing as we're walking in.
Okay.
But probably how the crowd sees it is more like white and nerdy.
I don't know. Merity's back there,
No,
I can
foot's
imagine
pulled down.
Merity's probably rolling her eyes at us, but it's like sort of like coming in there like we own the place.
He's got 20 charisma, plus she's used the shadow thing to like accentuate the drama, and like probably the hair's flowing back and like the door opens.
Oh, I think she looks incredibly goth right now. I think it's. I think she and Emerity have an edgelord competition every morning, and I'm not sure which one wins.
It's me. I'm the Edgelord Supreme Pizza. Come on. I have the extra Edgelord toppings.
And so Nikolai's like the white and nerdy, and then he's got like the two edgelords behind him. Like,
Exactly.
He's all cool
Exactly.
too, but he's like the brains.
So I think Nikolai has told you to expect Magrin to be there, and you each know what you know about him. You guys both know Krata. I don't know how surprised you are to see him in Akasi or not. And I don't think. You know what? Blondie. Actually, you're all gonna. Each of you. Blondie and Will can make me history checks on Jack. Okay.
Yeah, mine was just a 10.
Yeah, at a 10, you're not going to know anything weird or different about him.
That's a dirty 20.
On a dirty 20, what strikes you and takes you aback as you come down the stairs and as you first look at this man is he's a dead ringer for Danny. Like a dead ringer. And you know he can't be because remind me again, when's the last time you saw Danny?
It was what, 5 years ago, the day he died in May's arms?
Yeah. But this guy looks just like him. And it takes you aback for a second. But
has May not had a bad enough day already? Like,
and Emerity, something a little weird happens to you. We've talked about how Emerity's been ignoring the calls from her Deva for a long time, right? Like you haven't spoken to her in a minute.
She doesn't want a text message, and that's the only way I converse. So.
Right. So I think your phone's been ringing nonstop for like at least the past couple days, but probably a while. And we've talked about you don't have to pick up. But when you see Jack, the phone stops ringing. And it's the first time that phone has stopped ringing in a long time.
I don't know how she feels about that. It's nice not to hear the constant sound.
Yeah, it's like there was a song stuck in your head and now it's not.
Oh, it's like taking an Excedrin.
So I think Magrin turns to you and says, yes, welcome. It is nice of you to join us. 15 minutes late. As always. Why don't everyone come? Take a seat.
I'll stand, thank you.
So as soon as they walk in and they have their little thing, May is going to look straight Morgan right in the eyes and go to shake his hand and be like, nice to finally meet you. And she's going to be paying attention to what he is.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he's going to make a saving throw, because are you going to mark off the spell slot for that?
Yeah.
There's a song, a traditional elven folk song, that's essentially like 99 bottles of beer on the wall. And you hear him just singing that to himself. Just, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. And I think it's pretty easy for you to tell that, like, oh, that's on purpose. That is a mental shield. Like, this guy knows how to keep people from reading his mind. He not only made that save, he killed that save. But he will take your hand and he will say, "Charmed, I am sure. By what moniker should I be referring to you tonight, Miss?"
You can call me May.
May. That is a beautiful name.
Thank
I am,
you.
of course, Morgan. Only the one name, you know. We are so simple here.
Yeah. So simple. It's nice to meet you. I'm very excited to be here at this meeting tonight.
Of course. It's wonderful to have you. Now, everyone, if you would take our seats, I would like to welcome everyone to this meeting of Arcane Focus, the chapter here in Freeport. I am, of course, just your humble servant, Mogren, here to lead this meeting and nothing else. If we can start the minutes, Cornelius? And Cornelius pulls out a little clipboard. He goes, yep, I will, midnight, Thursday, 4th of shade. Minute, yep. Very well. I think our first order of business has to be the dreaded appearance of these criminals in our fair city. And he pulls out and puts in the middle of the table a little coin, and he activates it. And an image appears out of it. And it's kind of like a hologram from sci-fi stuff. It's an artificer ability to create this image. And you see 3 individuals there. All of them are in cloaks with their hoods up, but it's a very low angle shot that kind of sees up the hoods. And many of you recognize many of these people. One of them is a half-elf, and she has her hair cut incredibly short. Some of you know who she is. One of them is an elven male. Most of the party recognizes this person as someone you recently, finished. And you can see even with his hood pulled up that he has a scar in the middle of his forehead. As well as there is an elven female in that picture that I know a couple of you recognize who has a very similar scar. And Mogren will say, "These 3 known criminals have entered Freeport in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and their presence has become known to us very recently. I have a personal history and relationship with Klaus, the elven male, and I know that they are incredibly dangerous and almost too dangerous to talk about. Now, I have heard through my sources that Nikolai and his friends have recently had an interaction with one of these individuals. If you might give an after-action report of your mission this afternoon that I know did include the assistance of the Knights of Justice, did it not?"
I'm gonna roll my eyes so hard at him. It's like, I hate you so much right now. Ikaran's also going to go and sit where he is at up front.
Okay.
For sure. Like, no, sir. No, I don't think so. And also does Ikaran recognize anyone else in the room other than the people he's already met?
Exactly. So, of course, you know the party members you've already met. Cornelius, you know from your days before.
Right.
Jack, because you failed the history roll, no. So I think you know who you know. You know Krata. You've been staying with him. You know Akasi. May and Emerity came in with you. And then you know Cornelius from before. It's actually a very small group at this meeting tonight. You know that there are others upstairs who are members of Arcane Focus. You've seen the green roses on the lapels. but not everyone is down here at the meeting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought this was like a
No, this isn't
complete
this is like a
membership
board
type
meeting.
thing. Okay. Oh, okay. 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 I was mistaken. Which is fine. Well, first of all, I roll him because that's just how I roll. I'm going to be probably pretty petty in this meeting. I will, or Ikarin will tell him, or the group, that the was it Klaus? That was his name, right?
Yes,
that
Klaus.
We dispatched. Is that who we're talking about with the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Margaret will clarify. You are very sure that Klaus is no more?
Yes. He is no more. My comrades and I took care of him.
I am very sad to hear that, but you have also done me a personal service. Is there anything you can tell us about their operations, who he was working with, his status, anything?
Ikarin will tell him that he will tell him of the thing that came from him and he jumped into, I can't remember the guy's name, sorry, or the person's name.
The dwarf amongst the keepers of justice.
Yeah. Yes. And I will tell him about the knights that we did fight with them. We have yes. May, I will actually turn to May as well. And I guess everybody else that was there at the fight. And tell him that you have multiple witnesses in this room that saw him go down. So we are under the assumption that he is no more.
This monster, this parasite that was, you say, in his head. Is there anything you can? It was able to jump hosts?
Yes.
I do not
know. I know nothing of it. I've never seen such thing before. It is completely alien to this world.
The implications are terrifying.
Yes. There could be one in any of us right now, and we would not know.
Was he... Was the group that they were with? Our reports say it was the Brotherhood of the Third Eye, the ones with the salute.
Yes. It was them. Very nasty fellows. They were bent on destroying us.
I have invited Mr. Crote here, because I know he and his organization have had some dealings with this group. Mr. Crote, I know you are not a member of our organization, but anything you might be able to tell us to help? Incredible clears throat.
We've been working against the Brotherhood of the Third Eye, the RLF, for about 30 years now. We've come to understand for the past 5 years that they were very instrumental in the annexation of Reef by Abretzia. For those of you who may not know here in this room, Reef is a former elven colony in the very north of the continent of Eastfall here. And for many years, it was sort of a protective home and haven for magic users who didn't want to have to go through licensure or live without magic in the countries of Abretzia or Queldoris. Overnight, Duke Arenshield of Reef decided to throw in his lot with Abretzia and shut down any magic use. We've come to call that night the Purple Night. As multiple reports of missing persons and assassinations and government officials and nobles suddenly changing their minds about important things happened, seemingly all at once. We've come to believe that it was the Brotherhood of the Third Eye who was behind this assault. In many locations, such as here in Freeport, they seem to operate mainly as some sort of street gang slash cult. They worship a figure who calls himself the Mind Flayer. We've got very, very little information on the Mind Flayer, save that he first appeared some 35, 40 years ago and managed to work his way into an influential position in the court of Duke Orangeshield before disappearing on the Purple Night. These things, these parasites you talk about, we haven't heard of them before, but the scars, we've seen them, and those with the scars are incredibly dangerous. That cannot be understated. My older brother, former head of the RLF, Parker, was fell in battle with such a person. My sister Akasi here was at the incident earlier, and I know that she's been working somewhat with some of our friends here, and by pure happenstance, some of them happen to be staying with me at the Fiflorium in Emporium. The RLF would be happy to offer any assistance to your task force, Mr. Nikolai, in any way to combat this threat.
Can May roll an insight check on Krata?
For sure. Anytime.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
We don't have all shows roll insight perception. That's that's a 12.
I would also
12.
like to roll an insight.
Go ahead and roll insight.
22.
Yeah.
Oh man, look. Oh, we got some really high insights. I think what you realize here is that Krata's being more sincere than you've seen him before. He's letting you guys know that yes, he is part of a secret organization too. Yes, they work against these people. That limited. He might know more than he has told you about the Brotherhood of the Third Eye and the Mind Flayer. But if that's true, it's probably because he doesn't trust Mogren. And I think you also know, because you've dealt with him enough, he's going to help you, but he's going to help himself as he helps you. Right? He is very much about having a relationship with people where everyone gets what they want. But that means he gets what he wants as part of this whole thing. So I think that's actually good to launch into. The next thing he's going to say, in fact, I actually happen to know of a Brotherhood of the Third Eye warehouse at which they are keeping some goods that they have intercepted from the RLF, and I think perhaps that is a place that the task force might want to investigate in the coming days. And if you happen to stumble upon, some of my goods, returning them, I would, of course, give you a generous finder's fee. I think this is about the time that a rat with an exposed brain, glowing, silvery, shimmering light, wielding a sword made out of that same magical energy, just runs down one of the beams on the side of the wall and over and up onto the table and curls around to sit in front of May and lets go of the sword, and it disappears. And it looks at May and it just goes, "Mom, I'm done."
We need to have maybe like a slightly more subtle entrance till everyone's introduced to you, but well done. And she's gonna reach out and just kind of pet him and kind of pick him up and put him on her shoulder, because everyone's seen him now, so she's gonna put him on her shoulder.
Does he stand on 2 feet with like his hand there, like, look at me, I'm great?
I think he's probably like sitting up a bit and like preening, like,
Okay.
maybe holding his tail and like kind of cleaning it, like, I'm good at this.
I think Ikarin is going, or Nikolai, is going to look around, and he realizes that there are 2 people in the room that he does not know, and is going to basically stop and ask who they are. Like, who are these 2? I do not recognize these 2 peoples.
I think Vareth pipes up first, right? because you're very friendly, and I think
Oh.
Jack's really a cool cucumber.
That's fair. I go ahead and stand up, properly greet a new person and say, hello, my name is Verith. Nice to meet you. And I extend my very large hand towards him.
Nikolai will just stare at your hand. He will not take it.
Maybe we'll get up though and walk over and say hi.
My hand is just kind of still out there. I'm very like.
I go and shake it. I'm May. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well, Verith.
Verith, that's a very nice name.
Verity will just look you up and down and go, all right then. Because she's very in her own little world. If anything around her matters, it's her.
That's a fair position for her to be in at the moment, right?
She's like, she doesn't like sitting down. She doesn't like being told to sit down or invited. She doesn't like this meeting. This is too many people. Too many talking like people. She doesn't like people.
And Nikolai is suspicious of everybody.
Jack turns in his chair, plops
And he
his
looks
feet up
like
on the
Danny.
table, and he gestures to Verith and says, actually, Verith is a very old friend of mine. Very gifted healer. He's been studying recently with the Harbor Master family, of all things. Me! I'm just Jack, casual passerby, good-looking man. No one of consequence. Really. You can just ignore me completely.
Yeah,
Do I
that's gonna be
hear
an
this
insight check
conversation?
for sure. That is absolutely an insight check.
Yeah, even Akasi's going to put that as an
for
insight.
heaven's
Gonna need
sake,
an insight check.
That's rolled so low on insight. That's an 8.
We've got an 8, we've got a 14, we've got an 18.
So Amarity's going to do something.
An 8.
Nothing. She's going to do nothing. She was going to try to ask him if he would cut off his nose to spite his face, but she decided against it.
Okay. So, everyone who rolled below a 16, that's a very passable story. You believe him 100%. Yeah, he's no one of consequence. What does that matter? It's fine. He's just Jack. It's okay that he's there. Ikasi,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you, there's something about this guy that reminds you of when Amerity went into her Aasimar form and she went into that fallen angel form. He kind of makes you think like that, but if that were good.
Gross.
Was I conscious when Amerity went into fallen SMR form?
I
don't think I was conscious.
Were you unconscious?
I was unconscious.
Oh boy. Oh, then instead, man, I'm trying to think of what perspective you might have.
It's a daisy.
When your father was first teaching you to be a druid and taught you how to connect to nature and the magic of nature, that first time you felt that connection, that, oh, I'm actually tapping into something. This guy feels like a different flavor of that.
Ooh. Okay.
He is obviously way more important than he is letting on. But, he's on your side.
Okay.
Jack, where are you from?
Oh, here and there, a little bit of everywhere. But originally, I'm from Reef. That was a long time ago, though.
Does Amerity know where that is?
Yeah, so Reef is that former elven colony in the north of Abretzia. So Amerity wouldn't have been there, but you'd have heard of it as a place where, the anti-arc struggle was really big there because it went from being magic is free to magic is fully forbidden overnight.
All right.
So Nikolai will look at Verith and say, I could get to like you. Then he'll turn to Jack and say, you I do not like.
Oh, well, Jack is a very nice person. I don't see why you wouldn't like him.
I'll lean over to
If
Ikla.
Lauren would recognize.
I think Jack looks at you and he smiles and gives you a wink. And he says, "That's fine."
I'm gonna lean over to Nikolai and go, "Do you want me to take care of that? Because I can."
Oh, if only wishing would make it so.
He's like, "Listen, he doesn't look like he's that hard of an issue. I mean, I can yeet him totally."
And I will say, Nikolai will say, hold that move until we know more. You may be yeeting today at the
Ooh.
end.
I will hold you to that.
Jack stands up and he says, "Well, if I'm not welcome here, I understand. Verith, if you allow an old man a little bit of advice, I do think you should throw in your lot with these folks." And he starts to head out the door. And as he does, he turns and he looks at May and he says, "You know, you can trust Verith. He might want different things than you do, but ultimately you're on the same side." And he winks. And as he winks, you notice something happen because your brain is different than other people's. He sent you a file. You can open it whenever you want, and there's going to be a memory inside. You tell me when you read that file.
And she wants to open that right now, but they're in a
And
meeting.
he walks up the stairs and leaves.
Can I follow him?
I think
It's
she's gonna say, hang on one minute. And she's gonna follow him a little bit, but not like follow him. She's just gonna go where she's alone so that she can read that file.
Margaret will say, "Well, why don't we just take a 15-minute bio break then, everyone?" And I think everyone will, and it'll say, back in 15? Back in 15? Okay, everyone. We're not, but he will give your characters that option because I think some of you want to go have some private moments. For sure. So we'll start with you. Actually, we'll start with Emerity trying to follow him.
Well, I think as if she follows him, she's gonna do something really offbeat for herself. She's gonna try to reach out to her Deva.
Okay, make me
It's only been 5 years of ignoring. No, 8. I'm sorry, 8.
I know. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
This will end well.
Why couldn't I have the better one? Why couldn't I have the better one? Mom.
Unfortunately, you're stuck with the worst one. That is a 9. So you reach out to your Deva.
Oh, God.
And it is not your Deva who answers. It is a different voice than you have ever heard before. And it speaks to you with such authority that you're just taken aback. And it says, "Girl, keep your ass in that room until you are dismissed.
Ooh.
You don't even know how much... You gave that man the stone and he used it."
First of all, the Lion, the Witch, and the
clicks.
audacity
the
of this
second you say
bitch.
first of all, the line clicks.
Got hung up on.
Oh, dang.
I'm about to pull a full Karen up in here.
It was like click.
I will call back and ask to speak to someone's manager, okay?
I think you know that was the manager, and I think you know who the manager is on that line.
Okay, well, I'm going back on another 8-year hiatus of not talking to her.
Just got your ass handed to you, girl.
I did. I don't like it. I do not appreciate the...
So, for those at home who don't know, there are 5 gods in my setting, and Emerity, as an Aasimar, is connected to one of them. Her Deva works for that god. And the god she chose is the god of consequences. So,
Yeah.
I'll let you stew with that for a second.
I like to imagine it's everybody else's but my own consequences that I have to deal with.
I know what you'd like to imagine.
Listen, I'd like to buy some riverfront property on Denial, okay?
Where I live.
Hey, we can be neighbors. I'll bring over the pecan pie.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have the chocolate.
All right. May,
Apple.
you wanted to open... Oh, go ahead. Sweet.
No, I was thinking I want apple pie for me.
Oh.
Perfect. You know, when everything's over, you guys all come here. I'll make pies and cookies, and we'll have a thing.
Personally, I'm a pecan pie guy, but really, I'm not going to say no. Like, I got a
Pecan.
sweet tooth.
I make a
I
really
can't
good
say no to
toast.
pie, but I
Look,
will drop
Whether
kick
you
someone for sweet
pecan
potato
or
pie.
piquant, I'm going to call it a pecan pie, and it's delicious no matter what.
It doesn't
Fighting
matter
words
how
south
it's
of the border.
pronounced. It tastes the same.
Let's not open that can of worms.
All right.
I'm
User
Sorry
has
for
been banned
alienating
from the
half
server.
of our
things.
audience. We really don't mean it.
No, you have to mean it now, because now we have to do the comical thing. User has been banned from the server.
Oh. Oh, we're getting squirrely. All right, May, I've got a video message for you. You want to open it up?
Yeah, let's download that file.
So you open it, and it's literally from the same perspective you were just in, sitting in the same chair, but instead of Jack walking by and saying that Vareth is a good guy and you can trust him, he wants different things, but you're on the same side. It's Danny in his full wings out Asimar form. You've only seen him that way once. And he walks over and he looks at you just like Jack did, and he says, Krada is a good guy. You can trust him. He wants different things than you, but you're on the same side. And he winks. And that's the end of it.
It's been a really long day for me. I think this might be the moment she finally kind of cracks. She's gonna find, like, if there's like a room that's not being used or a space or
You can. This is also like the basement of a bar, right? So there's definitely like some wine barrels off to the side or something like that where you can go sit and have your moment.
You should
Yeah.
go full Havoc Girl and tear some crap up.
Do I notice that May is looking a little distressed right now?
You know what? May, would you try to hide that from Vareth, or can he just see that?
well, she stepped out a little bit, right? She's not still in the room.
You can have stepped out of the room or off into a corner. I was kind of more thinking off into a corner, but
That's
it's up to
fine
you.
too. Probably, and then I think she's gonna like start looking around for somewhere she can go to be alone. I mean, she's probably trying to hide it, but I think at this point in this day,
She's cracking. She's hiding
it's
it for
cracking.
So
Like,
yeah, I
her
think Vareth
perfect
can
timing.
definitely. Yep, Vareth can see. Do your scene.
I'm gonna see if I can just grab a drink off the table and just try and walk over to it and be like, I noticed that you aren't looking at 100%. Would you like something to drink?
She's gonna kind of look around like where you got. Thank you. And she's like obviously like super distracted. Like she was like not even here mentally. And then Vareth walked up and she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, drink." And she's gonna take the cup, but like she didn't even realize she's taking the cup. You know, like that absent-minded thing. And she's like, "Yeah, drink. Sometime you drink." Okay, but she's like not drinking it. She's just like staring off into like oblivion.
So I don't know exactly what is taxing your mind right now, but I want you to know that anything that bothers you is temporary. I'm not sure if that helps you or not, but that's helped me in the past.
She's gonna look him up and down and be like,
Now, how tall is Vareth? Because he's a furbolg and they're big.
Yeah,
boys.
I believe I put him at 7'6".
So when we say we look him up and down, we look him all the way up and down.
and she's like, yeah, temporary. And she's gonna just kind of turn around and start to kind of like try to find somewhere. I don't know where she's going, but she's not trying to be rude. Like But she kind of mutters that, and then she's kind of like looking for a place to be alone, and she's going to kind of start walking a little bit.
Would you head upstairs?
She doesn't want to be around anyone, I don't think. I think she might go upstairs, but like kind of stay to the wall and like look around at the rooms and see if she can find somewhere to kind of sneak off to.
You could definitely like step outside into the alley or something like that. There's also, I mean, it's a bar at midnight. There's definitely some corners you could sit in and sort of be ignored with a bunch of people around, right? Depending on which sort of alone you want to be at this moment.
Yeah, I think she's going out into the back alley and she's finding like a corner and like pulling the shadows so that it's like even.
Are you going to go back to the meeting or are you going to have your alone time?
She's going to go back, but she's going to probably make use of that 15-minute bio break.
Okay. Anything in particular you want to get done or just to think about thoughts?
No, I think it's that thing where she went off to be alone and like she's in a corner somewhere in the alley, like, and she's finally cracked and like her mind was racing and now she's just like in the corner, like sobbing, but as quietly as she can, like, and her mind is racing and she's just trying to like get a handle on herself and get back into the game because there's important crap going down.
Thaddeus.
But she's like cracked.
Thaddeus is with you and he looks up at you and he says, "Oh, Mom, do you want to... Would it help you if you told me about Danny?" I saw him in the thing, but he seems important.
Yeah, he was important.
We just saw him. What do you mean he was?
He's dead.
He was there.
That was. Oh gosh, now she's really confused. So how did it appear different? If Jack looks just like Danny, and
He
then
doesn't
the
look
message
just like him. It looks very similar because remember,
very similar. Okay.
Danny was an Aasimar. An Aasimar are pure human until they take their Aasimar form, right? And this guy was clearly a half elf, so he's not exactly Danny, but he looks a lot like him.
Looks a lot like him. Okay.
And also in the vision he dropped for you, it was full Aasimar form. Like you've only seen Danny look like that before.
Okay. I don't really know how all that works. But he must be connected to Danny somehow. I don't know. I never got a chance to ask him about it. But Danny's gone.
Well,
Danny's been gone for 5 years.
Well, then we just gotta find him.
But he's dead. He's not here anymore. I don't know where. He said he was going to a better place.
I wasn't here, and then you called me, and then I was here. We just gotta figure out how to call him, right? I don't remember a lot from him before, but I remember I used to not be with you, and now I am with you.
I don't think that's how it works.
Then we have to figure out how it works.
Well, there may be some questions to ask. Once people are gone, they're gone, aren't they?
I don't think so. But what do I know?
I don't know.
You have any of those crackers?
She's gonna kind of like laugh to herself. Yeah, hang on. And she's gonna pull out another cracker and hand it to him and kind of keep thinking. And she's just gonna kind of, while he's doing that, she's just gonna say, Danny, I we met when we were 10. We grew up together. We were raised in the same place. And he was
Handsome?
yeah. But he was good, you know. He was genuinely good. And he was smart. He was stupidly good at magic, and I hated him for it. Hated it.
Well, you're really good at magic, and you don't hate you for it.
Oh.
And
It,
the Nikolai Ikarin Nikolai, that guy, he's good at magic. You don't hate him for it.
I didn't really hate him for it, but he was competition.
I don't know what that means.
Before he showed up, I was the best at classes and at magic, and then he showed up. He was also really good, and everyone loved Danny.
Oh. Oh.
She's gonna sit there, and she looks at her shoulder, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you're there's gonna be," and she's just gonna sit there. She's gonna say, "He was handsome. He was kind. We worked together for a long time, and we were led into a trap, and he died."
Oh. Traps are like those things you told me to stay away from with the free cheese, but the thing that goes smack, right?
It's like that, but it was like with people. Like,
Well, yeah,
like
you're a lot bigger than me, so it'd have to be a lot bigger for you.
it's not. It's more like she sits there for a second, like I'm sitting in an alley. She like finally is waking up. Like I'm sitting in an alley talking to a rat about my dead. She just kind of sits there and just like it's like that, but it's like you had a friend and your friend put the trap there and you didn't know it was there and it caught you.
A friend would do that?
Well, not usually, but that's why you can't trust anyone except, you know, me and maybe a couple other people.
Oh, okay. That's scary.
Yeah, sorry, it's a scary world. And like with this, she's gonna kind of like pull herself together and we better go back to the meeting. She's gonna get back up and like kind of, you know, brush her face off, like fix her hair a little bit, brush the dust off, you know, from the alley.
So
let the shadows go.
So Ikarin and Meredy were not connected to all that whole time, were they? Because that would be oddly awkward.
Were they part of the mental channel? Did they hear that?
Oh gosh, no! I'm sure I would have done that before.
Okay,
but that would be so funny. That's something Kinsey would do. That would be something so funny if she did know.
It would have been oddly awkward. It's like, oh, okay.
Someone's having a breakdown.
It's like, oh god.
So what did Nikolai do in that 15 minutes? Anything you want to get done?
Nikolai went. Wherever Mogrim went, that's where he went. He followed him.
I think Mogren's still there at the table. And
then he's there.
I think you overhear him having a conversation with Cornelius, and you can butt in if you want. But he's saying to Cornelius, Jarvis, you will no longer be working with the Keepers of Justice. After I found out about how dreadfully they were doing this morning, I contacted some of my people in Quildoris and had them pulled off on a false goose chase. Yes, the Silver Veil. The old child's story. They're off chasing her back. Yes, it's very well. No, so you will be assigned us attacks. Yes, no, you did very well bringing Verf in. Yes, hello, Nikolai. Nikolai, it's a very good name for you. Can I help you?
So much.
Was he saying that stuff about the Silver Veil out loud?
Yes, you could hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, noted.
You can also make an insight check about the timing of all that.
All right, let me do that. Don't do Tallulah rolls.
Oh, 12. So, I think then what you get is you recognize that the timing of that would be weird because you talk to the knights, right? And you know that they got their orders to leave to go chase the Silver Veil, like right after the incident. So if he had really ordered his people to make that as like a false flag, he would have had to be, he's got to be really, really good at his job. Now, that's because you rolled low on insight. If you rolled high enough, you'd know that he was lying and taking credit for something that he didn't do. But instead, because you rolled a little bit lower, you believe that he's really that good.
Fine.
Ikarin,
Well, Merity's been pouting, by the way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ikarin. Sorry.
Go ahead, Carl.
Ikarin would like. Ikarin wants to talk to Mogrim alone, like just the two of them.
You've got the message cantrip, right?
No.
I thought you did. Or
Maybe I do. No, I think Mace is the only one that has that.
Okay.
I don't think
you would know that he has it.
Yeah,
So you can have a private mental conversation in the middle of everyone if you trust him in your brain.
No,
Right.
not really.
Trust him.
It's like,
Or you
trust
can, or
is
you can
not
ask
the
him to,
word.
go off into another room somewhere.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap him on the shoulder and say, "I'd like to speak with you alone, please."
We do keep a safe house upstairs. I was actually going to offer it to you to stay in if you do not want to, continue living with the tailor and his group. Why don't we just head upstairs real quick? Yeah. And he'll lead the way and walk up to the tavern and then up the next set of stairs and into a room. And then before you guys talk, he will walk over to a bookshelf on the room and pull a book, and a secret door opens, and he'll take you into the secret room behind it that's a much nicer apartment than the crappy, inn cover story. And he will say, yes, Ikaran, I know it has been entirely too long.
And I'm going to close the door. And Ikaran's going to drop his facade and get a little personal now. And why are you here?
We have a cause, do we not? We have not always agreed on the best way to handle it, but we both wish for magic to be free and unfettered.
Yes.
My entire group, Profited Magica, was destroyed when Klaus betrayed me. I know you know that pain. And you had left. You were gone. Back home from what I heard. So I took the resources that were available to continue our fight that you had abandoned. You're going to get angry at me when you're the one who ran away. Because what, I'm playing with your toys?
And Ikaran's going to stand back for a second. And
you did not even know I was here. You come in with no information. You come in by a train that you destroy, stealing a magical prototype that you have no clue what it is or how it does. Do you have it? No, don't tell me. I do not want to know. Do you know how hard I have been covering your tracks? Do you know why the crew of the Black Flag is not breaking down your door at this instant? No, of course you do not.
in a emotional rage and vulnerable state, Ikarin's going to grab him and just kiss him.
Gosh, why is May having a breakdown in the hallway? This is what she was supposed to be preventing.
I was like, well, I'm sitting here just really confused as to what exactly that's like.
And then I'm going to, and after that happens, I'm going to look in.
He ends the kiss slightly, or he kisses you back instinctually.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pushes you away.
Yes.
And he says,
well, yeah.
What about last night with Professor Fizzwidget? No? You're not here for me. Do not distract me. I know how you get. We have business.
And Ikaran's going to ask him again. He's like, I know all of this, but why are you here? Why are you? I know all the things I have done. I know I left. I know I was gone for 5 years because I could not handle it emotionally. I know that. And I failed myself. I failed my organization. But now I am back. We have serious troubles. And no, I did not come here for you. Though you are a special part of my life, I cannot get rid of you. I think of you often. Your ways are cruel.
I still have fond memories of you. And I will admit that might be why I chose Arcane Focus. But I am here in Freeport because this is an island. An island of the limited acceptance that we magic users can get here on this continent. Eastfall is falling. This is the only place on the entirety of the western part of the continent where you can even use magic if you are licensed. I see even you are still wearing that fake plastic knockoff.
Which
This is a port city. Sandwiched between the superpowers of Quel'Doris and Debretzia, who for some reason have such advanced magic-assisted devices that they are able to stand toe-to-toe with magic users. The mad science here is decades ahead of where it should be. This is where I can do the most good, and I think this is where you can do the most good.
Karn's going to look around the room.
You leave?
Can you describe what this room looks like for me?
So this is a very, very nice, main room, sort of like living room situation to an apartment. You can see that there's a couple other doors that lead off to bedrooms with 1 or 2 beds in them. There is a kitchen area. There is a sitting area. There's a bookshelf with some reading material. I think you've been in places like this before. It's a safe house for the Arcane Focus organization. And I think this one was probably even set up according to your specifications because it's been around since you were the boss. So I think you know exactly what to expect from a space like this. I think you know, there's going to be some hidden gold and a couple of caches somewhere, stuff like that.
Ikaran I think Mogram's going to see the emotional struggle that Ikaran is having within himself of trying to figure out who he is again. And I think at that point, Ikaran is going to take that license off of himself, look at it, walk over to the fireplace, ignite the fire, and throw the license in. And turn to him and say, with almost tears in his voice, that, hold on 1 second, my dogs are going crazy.
It only adds to the suspense, right?
Just a little.
Turns to him and says,
patient.
It's like that long dramatic pause where it's like a flashback of a few things and then it comes back.
I love how in this game
I just right the wrong time.
I've wound up playing so many boyfriends in this game.
That's how it is being the DM, right?
I guess.
Well,
Jasper and Danny.
Sorry.
Boyfriends or girlfriends. Have fun.
Sorry. Dogs are they got hair triggers and they make a little noise and they start going crazy. So he turns to him and he says with tears in his voice that I don't want to be this anymore. I want to be me. I want to be who I used to be. I want to be I want to be who you remember me as that fighter that wants everyone to be able to use magic openly. What's happening right now in this world is an abomination. I am not that soft elf that you once knew any longer. I've done some things since then that I am not proud of, but I know it is necessary. And I am willing to take those steps if there is no alternative.
He will come and join you by the fireplace and put his arm on your shoulder. And he says, "You know that I am not proud of everything I have done in this life. But we elves, we live forever, almost, unless something happens. So we must always do the next right thing. And I know you can help here. It is bittersweet that you have taken care of Hans. And I know you have a personal relationship with the woman. You can do good work here. And I would be more than happy to support you in that mission. And when that is taken care of, we can discuss what your permanent position with Arcane Focus, or my permanent position with Arcane Focus, or for now let me handle the day-to-day, and you take care of the biggest problem. That was always very well useful. I am the clerk, and you are the operator."
And he will say, we shall focus on what needs to be focused on at the moment. I am resolved to end this travesty upon magic users. So we shall work together once again.
Very well. So we haven't yet covered what either Verith or Akasi is kind of doing with their time in this moment. Do either of you want to specifically do anything or talk to anyone?
Well, after having that very brief interaction with May, I suppose Verith would probably just head back to the table where everyone else was. I'm assuming at this point, by the time he gets back to the table, Amerity and Nikolai are also gone.
Yeah, I think they would be.
So is Ikasi the only one at the table?
I think it's Akasi and Krata and Cornelius who are left. So your friend Cornelius, who you've seen taking these notes, and Krata, who gave that little talk. And I don't think Akasi's really said anything yet, have you?
No, she kind of follows Krata, saying with the whole he doesn't trust a lot of people, so she's more wary and doesn't talk to people unless they talk to her first.
Well, I think it's very likely that Verith will walk on up to you now, because Verith loves making friends. Because, well, my friend Jack vouched for you and your entire party, so if you're good with him, you're good with me.
I suppose it's not too bad an idea.
Why don't you two make nice? I'm gonna go talk to my buddy Corny over there. It's been a while since we saw each other.
And Krata will go over and leave
then.
you space to have your conversation, because I want to see you two roleplay.
So I don't believe I was formally introduced to you. I'm Verith.
I am Ikasi, brother to Krata, sister to Krata.
Oh, you're Krata's sister. How interesting.
That's one way to say it.
So these meetings, does this happen often?
I don't know.
No? Is this your first time here?
Ever. My first time seeing someone like you.
Oh, Yes, well, it's my first time here as well. And well, I don't really run into a lot of furbolgs here. It's not a lot of people of my size or stature around this area either.
Furbolg?
Yes, that is my race. Are you not familiar with furbolgs at all?
You can roll for it if you want, or you can decide that you're not.
I do not work with. I have not met anyone other than other lizard folk and food.
Interesting. But your friends who were just here, they did not seem like lizard folk.
I call them squishies.
Squishies?
They do not have armor or scales, and they are remarkably squishy.
Ah. Well, I am wearing armor, so I'm not sure what you would call me.
Squishy.
Fair enough. I like squishy. It sounds adorable.
Adorable.
Yes, it's like a little nickname.
Akashi's gonna roll an insight check because he's using words she has never heard of.
Okay.
17. All right, sweet. It's your character. You tell us what she gets out of 17.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what Akati is trying to insight. I'm not lying.
Yeah, you just really are that friendly and genuine, right?
Yeah, I'm just a nice guy.
Long story short, he used big words. She don't trust big words.
Well, you don't get you do not get an untrustworthy vibe from me. So what brings you here?
I was on a mission from my tribe to transport goods, though it seems it's not happening very quickly.
No? Oh, what happened?
Well, first our train got ransacked. We killed them.
Oh
Then we got upheld at the train station, and then we killed them.
Oh.
And then we got told to handle this third eye, and we killed them. And now we're here.
So I see you all do a lot of killing. Is what I'm to understand.
They usually start it.
Oh, so it's in self-defense.
Does that mean that we do not plan to kill them?
Well, it means that you had to kill them out of necessity.
Oh, then yes.
Like your lives would have been in danger had you not.
Yes, that would be true.
Okay, well, I suppose that's not the worst thing I've heard people do. I completely understand self-preservation.
Although, it is strange that we leave the bodies there.
No
There was so
proper
was so
burial rights or
necessary.
anything?
Burial?
Yes. Do
You,
you?
I think, would recall, Akasi, that Jasper buried his uncle when you were on the train, but that may have been the only burial you've ever seen.
Yeah. Anyone who dies with the lizard folk usually gets eaten.
So yes, generally when a person has passed from this world, we give them proper burial.
That sounds like a waste.
I suppose that's a waste in what way exactly?
That's good meat.
And you, the smile on Barrett's face, it doesn't go away, but now you can see it just seems kind of forced. Like he's trying to He's trying.
The
He's making
smile
an
leaves
effort
his
to smile
eyes,
now.
but not his mouth. He's still smiling, but now it's
Yeah. He's like, meats? As in you eat them after they die.
There are very few things that aren't eaten with the lizard folk.
Interesting. I will keep that in mind.
try not to die. Just in case.
Someone in the party dies and Akasi like makes dinner that night and they go the next morning. She's like, I made a feast.
So one thing that we know as players about this world, because I've talked to most of you about it, is that this world works on a cycle of reincarnation. When you die, your soul moves on and it becomes someone or something new. So to the lizard folk who've got a long line of druids who actually know that, because they're one of the few people who study spirituality, the person isn't the body. So the body really is just meat to them, because the person goes on to become someone new. It makes total logical sense to them.
Okay. I suppose as long as you're being resourceful, that's not the worst thing in the world. And I guess as long as the food is good.
It depends on the person.
Fair point. So essentially, I'm getting the feeling that you enjoy killing and eating the people that you kill. Am I getting that correct?
I don't enjoy killing. I know I have to.
Would you like a drink? I would like to be your friend.
Rather than the alternative.
Furbolgs are friend, not food.
Yes, exactly. You understand.
I think that's a great place to end that and have everyone come back to the table. Right? That's good.
Drama right there.
Thank you guys so much for that. I love
I
it.
will. As Sakaran comes back in, he's gonna walk over to Vareth and tell him. He will tell him, he'll put his hand sort of to his chest and do a slight bow and he'll say, apologies to you, my good sir, for being so abrupt with you earlier. And he will extend his hand to you. And he will say, we welcome you to our family.
And I kind of eagerly grab your hand and start shaking it up and down very vigorously. It's like, it's a pleasure to meet you.
When May comes back, she's gonna be a little more collected, and she's gonna feel bad that she like left Vareth so abruptly, because that's really not like her. And she's gonna come back up to Vareth and just say, "I'm sorry about earlier. I just needed a minute. I appreciate. Thank you for the drink. I don't know where she put it. She doesn't know where she put it. Thank you for the drink. I appreciate it."
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Gosh, I'm making so many new friends today.
She's gonna have like this really bright smile and just be like, "I hope we get to work with you."
So as Mogren will sort of stand at the head of the table and gesture everyone to take a seat, because he believes it's the Mogren show, as we've established. Yes, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back from break. I believe at this point what we should discuss is what our forward action will be. I see, Ikaron, you came walking in with two of what look like lovely, capable women. Yes. I think Quata has asked that you take his younger sister Akasi with you on this task force. Is that correct? Would you agree to such a thing, Akasi?
I would.
And Nikolai, would you like to have her on board? And I think that I know you are new, and Cornelius thought that you might be an asset to us. From what I have heard about you, I do think that you shall be. And I think now that you know about the sort of dangers that we face, you know that you have a responsibility to use your talents for the greater good. Would you join this task force?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very-
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
I thought you
there
were
we
still
go.
talking to Akasi. My apologies. I
No,
must have
sorry.
blanked out there.
It's all good.
It's the accent, isn't it?
I know.
Do it every time.
It's very German and a little bit like, floppy. I did not
Oh,
know
wow.
that he was going to be Ikaran's ex-lover when I decided this was his voice.
It's got freaking Goldfinger or something. Well,
So
Gold member.
Verith was very spaced out there for a second. He kind of just snaps back and is like, wait, what? What happened? What are we talking about?
Oh, sorry. I was saying, I know that you have not yet joined Arcane Focus, but now that you have heard about what we are up against, I think you recognize that you have a responsibility to use your magical talents for the greater good. Would you join our task force?
Oh, well, of course. The reason I'm even here is to help all people who have these abilities from being persecuted. No one should be looked down upon or have their abilities restricted.
I am
He
sure.
likes him a lot.
I am sure, Nikolai, that you have your own investigation and your own leads to follow up on. But the lead that Quarter has given us, as far as the warehouse, does sound promising. I will leave you to be in charge of this investigation. I know you have been staying at the wonderfully named Five Florium Emporium. But I know you have seen that the safe house upstairs is empty for your use if you would choose. And Craddock chimes in and he says,
Oh, you're free to stay with me as long as you want. Don't feel like you're putting me out. No one's using the space. I won't be insulted if you wanna, move out, but there's no harm done. So they are offering you the choice of where do you want to stay, in the Arcane
May's
Focus
gonna
safe house or the place where you have been.
Hey, I'm
May's
gonna
gonna
tell.
reach out to them and connect to, well, actually, Nikolai, Akasi, and Emerity. And she's going to keep kind of looking at Margaret. Can she make an insight check, actually, on Margaret on that last little speech he gave?
yeah.
I'm sure this will go great. Yep. That's a 7.
Oh.
You haven't seen the safe house that he's talking about, but as a member of Arcane Divergence, you've stayed at safe houses before, and I think earlier you made a good check and recognized that the place you're staying in, the Emporium, is like a similar sort of safe house type space. So, I mean, it's like someone half dozen to you as far as you're concerned. I mean, who do you trust
Well,
more,
it
Margaret or
wasn't so
Krata? Because
much-
one of the two of them is going to be able to tell when you're coming and going.
Yeah. No, it wasn't so much like on the safe house itself, but just like when he was telling everyone in the task force and like what we're doing and what his goals are.
He seems very gung-ho on this project. And he's
okay.
impressed that you guys got Klaus. Like, he's legitimately impressed. He was after that guy for a while.
Perfect. So she's going to open up that channel and just say, I think staying at the Five Florium Emporium would be a better option.
I don't need either of these. I can sleep on a floor somewhere and I'll be fine.
I'll tell her that. I know this place. I basically set it up. So I know its ins and outs. Of course it was, I had been out for 5 years, but I don't know that it would have changed much. But whichever. This is the safe house up here is much more comfortable.
I do want to add that
It's
that while
further
Mog
away from the shops, but
Yeah.
it's more comfy.
I want to add that while Mogren was doing his whole little speech, Emerity did sit down, but she immediately kicked her feet right up on the table and just stared at him. Remember, that's one of her things. Like, she either doesn't make eye contact or she is like obsessive about the eye contact.
I think when you first do it, Mogren looks at you and gives you a little, and then just doesn't acknowledge the staring.
Touché.
Yeah, May doesn't trust Margaret at all. Like, there's enough history there. She does not want to stay where Margaret is. No way.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, yeah, remember, Nikolai doesn't trust him either.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what their connection, he does not trust him.
Crota don't
That's very
trust
fair.
Mogren, and Ikasi trusts Crota. So
Well, they just got the tips on who to trust here, and Danny basically just came and told her to trust Crota.
Don't trust Danny.
That's
He's got something going on that Mary
think-
would not like.
Danny.
I believe that Emerity would not trust Danny, but I 1,000% believe Persephone would not trust Danny.
Like he
That's
seems
fair.
like he is a tender boy, like you know the one. He's a tender boy.
He's a little bit Freddie Prinze Jr. and a little
go on,
bit
Freddie.
Chris Evans. He's, definitely got America's ass, or,
Right.
that's one way to say it.
Breaking the fourth wall.
That's fair.
I break the fourth wall constantly. You've been playing this game long enough with me.
Wait, there's a fourth wall?
Exactly.
Not anymore. We don't recognize the fourth wall anymore.
Wait,
I'm
so,
a Brechtian, so no. I
Yeah,
don't
me too.
recognize the fourth
Yeah.
wall. If
Not
you
since
couldn't tell,
Theater of
Will.
Alienation. Yeah. Nikolai will that in our group chat that we probably want to stay at Crata's anyway because it's closer to kind of the action where we can probably get more
Info?
on the street info as opposed to sort of informants that we don't even know if we can actually trust them 100% or not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest, and I'll tell Mogren that I was like, we're going to stay where we are because that's sort of center to everything.
I understand. That way you will also have greater access to the resources of the RLF, who seems to have some expertise on this matter. Is there any other... Oh, is there space for Verve at the Emporium? And Crowder will respond,
Oh yeah, there's another bed, and who knows what happened to that Jasper kid if he's gonna show up again. So that makes two, right? So
You hear Merity go under her breath. Good riddance.
May just kind of is like, gotta get him out of jail. She does not say that out loud.
does she say that in the group chat?
Oh yeah, I think she might. Yeah, she might be like, "Oh yeah, guys, we got to figure out how to get him out of there, out of jail." And Merity doesn't. Does Merity know that? Anyway, I don't know if she told everyone, but
No,
That's
Merity's
No,
off doing her own
She
stuff.
didn't.
Yeah, no. I think you
She
and I
did-
are the only ones that know
Ikasi
that.
does not know half of what happened in the last session.
Yeah.
so May's gonna put out a little thing like, "Oh, by the way, on our way back to the 545."
Five Florium Emporium.
FFE. FFE.
Let me just, I know the FFE. On our way back there, we may want to kind of swing by that ship because Jasper may or may not have been arrested and may or may not be held there. Oh, by the way, he's the son of the harbor masters. Just because, why not meet the Prince of Keldoris, the son of the harbor masters? And she's gonna kind of shake her head, like she's still in her head. She's not saying it out loud, but she's like, "It was supposed to be a quick mission. It went so perfectly till I met these guys on the train. Now I'm in trouble with headquarters and people have been arrested."
Train, okay?
Jeez, way to make Ikasi feel bad.
I like a coffee. That's like
Dang.
the one, other than Ikron,
No,
that's
no.
one of the only people.
That last part's in her
Everybody
head.
had
The whole part, I'm like, I had this mission going so well, and now I'm in trouble with headquarters. Like that last part was all in her own head.
Because this isn't sounding like Kinsey. At least you're not saying it out loud.
Yeah, May knows when she's in her head and not.
I think Margaret will end with, well, if there's no other business, I think we can adjourn for tonight. I know I at least am a little bit sleepy.
I suppose it is getting rather late.
Then I will bid you all good night. Vers, I believe you can follow the rest of them to where you will be staying now if you wish to stay with the group. And Crota, we have that other business to attend to upstairs, if you would join me.
yeah. You guys just go on back without me. We'll take care of this. It's personal.
Insight
Okay.
check. Maybe
You
I'll
two of them will
finally
head
roll.
upstairs. Sorry, what was that?
Insight check. Maybe I'll finally roll a decent insight.
We'll see how you roll.
Roll high.
That
Oh, hi.
is yep. That is 15. I mean, sorry, 17.
Yeah.
Math.
One of
Finally.
them owes the other money. You're not sure who owes who, and you're not sure how much.
That was really useful. You know, I'm
But
glad
they're about to go do business things.
Okay.
Because they're both in shipping and logistics a bunch.
Shipping and logistics. Okay, she's gonna turn to Vareth and be like,
Smuggling.
Well?
Straight up.
So I hope you know that if you join us, you're gonna be up for a lot of adventure, but we're glad to have you if you want to follow us. And she's gonna get up. She's gonna pat Thaddeus on the head, you know.
Vareth is a little excited. It's like, oh, I'd never considered a life of adventure. This could be fun.
She's gonna give him like a little wink and then like walk out the door.
Did we find out out of character and everything? Did we find out about the warehouse where that was located?
You know that Krata's got that information, and you're staying with him, so you
Okay.
can ask him at any time. He didn't
Okay.
give you the specifics yet, but you can.
Did he leave yet, or can I?
He
pull him
went
aside?
upstairs with Magrin to handle their other business. You could probably wait around for them if you wanted to.
I have other things I gotta do. I don't have time to wait on people.
And it's like midnight. Actually, the meeting's been going
1
on
hour.
for... We've been playing for about 2 hours, and the meetings happen mostly in real time. So it's like, I don't know, 1:30. It's late.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So are you guys going to leave as a group to head to the Emporium? Are you going to head off in small groups? Are you going to stick around for a bit first? Do you have other stuff to go handle in the city? You let me know.
I think I'm just going to follow the group.
Akasi knows the meeting is done. She has no other reason to be out. So she's going to head right back.
May's gonna message Emerity and Akarin, like just those two, and be like, we need to have a talk tonight. I have some really important stuff I need to talk to both of you about, but first we need to stop by the thing again and check on Jasper.
I was just about to say that. I was literally like, I was going to tell you, hey, message me. And I was going to say, we need to go and just swing by and see if Jasper is okay.
Might as well.
So
I can
it's
respond
very
to that,
late
right?
at night. It would be easy to take a path that allows you to swing by the Black Flag on your way to the Emporium. The Black Flag is another large ship that's been almost permanently anchored at Freeport. There's a couple of those. And those of you who are trained in history, I'll just give it to you for free. You know that Freeport was originally like a pirate port that over time became a city. So like the crew of the Black Flag was at one time a really feared pirate ship. But then that pirate captain became in charge of keeping the peace in the city, and they've developed from there. So it's a big galleon, and it's docked, and there's only really one way on and off the ship. It's a gangplank. And earlier in the day, Nikolai and May had sat at a cafe, and May's telepathy gave her a long enough range with her distant spell to contact Jasper while he was there. So you can definitely get within that range and feel for him in there. You can go ahead and make me just a spellcasting check to feel for Jasper's mind.
Also, is this as the whole group, not just Emerity, Nikolai?
Yeah, so the
and
whole
May?
group can be with
Okay.
her, but I think she's the one who reaches out to see
Yeah.
about finding him.
So that's a 22.
He's not on that
Nice.
boat. You're sure he's not on that boat. He's been moved.
Well, if
Are
you
there
let
any,
me
like-
know, we can find
Are
out
there-
where it's been moved to.
Are there any guards or anyone around?
So it's the middle of the night. There are a couple of guards posted outside. They look a little tired. While you're feeling around for Jasper, you can feel there are other prisoners in there, and there are guards, because this ship is also sort of their jail, their temporary holding before someone might be, get a more harsh punishment like banishment or prison or that sort of stuff. So their holding cells are here. There's a couple of drunks in the holding cells. You can you know what a drunk mind feels like. You don't know who they are, but they're like, they were partying too hard. And there's, at least a good dozen people awake who you think are probably guards, and a bunch of asleep people.
She doesn't feel anyone's mind she recognizes, does she?
Not a single person in there have you met before.
Okay. So she's gonna turn to the others and open up our group chat again. Is Vareth with us, or did Vareth go with Akasi, or is Akasi with us?
I think they've both been going with you, right?
Yeah, I think I followed everyone.
Said, well, take this route.
Akasi left before we did.
Did you? Or did you go with the group?
Akasi just has no reason to... She doesn't know anything about Jasper. She just knows, go to the meeting, go back.
Okay, so she just went home before everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they did include her in the message where she was saying, by the way, Jasper's been arrested and he's the son of the harbor masters.
Akasi has no major reason to actually care about Jasper other than, oh, wait, his stuff is still in my room.
You guys had that nice heartwarming moment where you talked about families. And
we
siblings.
did? That was the shortest.
Now?
Listen, it's water under the bridge.
That's fair.
So
Vareth's with us.
I mean, with that same thing, Jasper's gone. So in her mind, it's like, oh, well, he left of his own volition. He's fine.
Mary messages me and says, I can get something out of these guards. You want me to try?
No. Let's
real quick answer. Did Vareth head back with Akasi, or is Vareth hanging out with these three?
I said I was going to follow the group, so if Akasi had left before everyone else, I assume I'd be with Ikar and May and Merity.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you've got this guy who doesn't know Jasper with you, as you've just been.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of standing there watching them look at each other as they talk in their minds. I'm like, heck is going on?
She's gonna turn back and see Vareth, see how Vareth's all confused. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you've probably never done this before. She knows this.
What's your mind path number? Here, let me.
And she's gonna be like, do you mind if I include you in our messaging? I have a way to kind of talk to people in their minds. Do you mind if I
talk in my mind?
She's gonna reach out at that moment when he's like, what? And she's like, hi Vareth, it's May.
Wait, I heard your voice, but it didn't come from you. What's going on?
She's gonna kind of wink at him, and then she's gonna open up the chat to everyone and be like, everyone, I know this is still kind of new, but we have another member. And we can all talk now, and nobody knows. It's cool, huh?
And Vareth is looking very confused, and he's still talking out loud. He's like, wait, how do I do this? How do I respond?
She's gonna walk up to him, and he's like, what, 2+ feet taller than her, and she's gonna kind of reach out and put her hand on I don't know, his chest, and be like, look, okay, so just take a deep breath and close your eyes.
Okay,
and go into your mind, and when you're thinking to yourself and you're thinking those words, try that, but think about me when you do it.
Okay. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and he's like, can you hear me?
And there's gonna be this hint of I don't know how you would describe it in your mind, but almost a hint of a silver sparkly thing, and May's voice, and she's gonna be like, yes, I can hear you.
A big smile comes off Vareth's face. Oh, it worked!
Yes. Now just be sure you're aware of when you're speaking in your mind and when you're speaking out loud. That's very, very important.
Right.
Send that to May. Or can you send that to Kinsey?
Right? That's
stole the words right out of my mouth.
They ran across each other once, and she's like, you got to learn how to control that. No, so she's gonna smile at Vareth, and she's gonna be like, if you ever want me to contact you that way, just give me a little signal. She's going to look at a card to show the signal that they give when he wants her to connect.
Okay, nice.
Is it a little
what is the signal? Just the point?
What is the signal card?
Finger gun.
Price?
It's something subtle. I'm sure it's just a little a flick or a little hair toss or like a little, they're spies, something subtle that you do, like
a mental wink. Like, we're talking now. Okay, so I'm talking to you guys. I have a crazy plan right now.
Oh no.
Oh, I love crazy plans.
Yay,
It's
crazy.
called Shattered.
I think I have yes, shatter on everybody. Okay, everybody ready? No, I have a plan that might be able to help us figure out where they've taken Jasper. Now, this is like completely insane.
Okay. She's like petting her rat.
I'm going to alter myself to look like Jasper. Run out and let them see me. Maybe they'll go, "Hey, you, how'd you get away?" Then they'll capture me and lead us to him.
Who is Jasper?
Oh, so Jasper is oh gosh, you worked with the harbor man. Oh gosh. So Jasper is from what I gather, the estranged son of the harbor masters, and we met him on the train, and like we've been looking out for him. He's been working with us. How you know the harbor masters? So you probably know who Jasper is.
Yeah, I'm very nice. Very good friends with them.
You've never heard the name Jasper.
I've never heard the name Jasper. So they've never talked about Jasper, though.
Oh gosh. Do you know them well enough that we could? Do you think if we went to talk to them, we might be able? Gosh. Families are so complicated. I didn't have one, so I don't really understand how they work. But so do you think you could talk? Do you think if we went over, the harbor masters and talked to you? Because Jasper said that they were gonna come. They might come and get him out. Do you think if you talk to them, they'd tell you where he is? Or they'd know?
Well, I suppose that's worth a shot. I mean, you've said.
I mean, they've never.
They're related. Why wouldn't they want to help, right?
I mean, but they haven't spoken about him, and he's been gone for a while, so it may. They're gonna wonder how you know about him.
Well,
She's gonna just kind of look at Ikaran and be like,
"Can't I just explain that you told me about him? You can come with me to the harbor master."
No! Don't.
I'll come with you.
Don't connect us to the harbor. She's looking at Ikaran
in the
like,
shadows.
this is such a mess.
I'm beginning to get the feeling there's more to the story than you're telling me.
Well, quid pro quo. Yes.
That's D&D, baby.
Yeah. So, could you go? Are you good at lying?
I don't do it.
Okay, so no.
Tell them a story.
What if
That's not exactly lying.
I do enjoy telling good stories.
Oh, good. Okay. Tell them that you happened to go by the Black Flag and you heard them talking about the harbor masters and someone named Jasper, and see if and just say, you heard about him being transferred. Do they know where he went? No, that's not gonna work.
That's not really a fascinating story.
I'm telling you, I could just turn myself into Jasper and see what happens.
We have an.
It may be good, it may be bad, but
we have an asset that knows the people that know.
Sounds like a
we're spies. This is what we do.
Wait, we're spies?
I'm just
I
worried.
would like everyone to make me a perception check real quick.
Oh, Christmas pie.
The whole time we're sitting there talking, they're like staring at us.
We're all not actually talking.
You said perception?
Perception.
I did a 23.
All right. And I get advantage on perception because I have a sentinel shield.
Oh,
dope.
There it is.
Oh, didn't help me that much.
Not that much.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Hey. What was it for May?
That's a 10. She's busy trying to keep the connection going and come up with a plan and figure out where that is. Like, she's distracted.
Mary is also distracted.
You notice out of the corner of your eye a dark shape on a rooftop across the street. And you also catch a little bit of a purple glow, and then a rat that looks a lot like Triple T gets onto the middle of your table, but it's got purple around its brain, and it looks directly at May. And you all can hear it because you're all mentally linked, but I don't think you know that the rat knows the rest of you can hear it. I think you know that it's directed just at her. Rooftop, across the street, now.
Okay.
She's gonna
We
shut
all
off
look
the
up.
communication with everyone else, like immediately. And she's gonna look up and she's gonna reach out mentally and like see the purple and see the thing, and she's gonna put it all together with her rat and this rat, and she's gonna just say, Kiadora?
Now. Alone. And then the rat leaves the table.
She's
You know, I
gonna
could have stabbed
take,
that thing.
she's gonna take Thaddeus.
Oh, yeah,
And
if you want to
say,
stab the rat as it leaves, go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to.
Roll that attack roll.
Okay. I do not like. Well, personally, I love rats,
Poor
but she
little
doesn't
rat.
like that
Nice.
rat.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill everything at Mary.
We're getting into a fight. I can't.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, you just skewer that rat. You don't even have to roll the damage. It's
And then I
like
look
those
up.
those
I'm
enemies.
holding this, and I look up to that figure. I'm like,
May's
I
gonna
don't
be
like
like,
people spying on me.
Amarity, stop. You don't. Can you guys give me a minute? Can you guys give me a minute? Here, I'm
Tell
gonna
him no
leave
more
Thaddeus.
rats.
Bird's
gonna leave
be like,
Thaddeus.
I think Ichisi would like that rat.
Yeah, no, this rat is like my rat. And she's gonna look at Amarity and give her a very serious look, like, you don't touch Thaddeus because we will have.
No,
Is she-
I won't touch your rat, but that rat was not welcome at this table. Even though we're at the table.
She's gonna take
He was
That rat was
Thaddeus.
sus.
small. This is
And she's gonna look at-
ABCD conversation. He can F out of here, okay?
She's gonna look at Karin, and she's gonna like kind of mentally connect to Thaddeus and be like, "Hey, stay with these guys, but be ready to come and keep an eye on things." And she's gonna hand him to Karin,
And I'll
and
put
she's
him
gonna
on my
look up and
shoulder.
she's gonna be like, "I'll be right back," and she's gonna head up there.
So, do you mind if I take that rat and put it in my bag so I can give it to the lizard folk because they like eating dead things?
Yeah, I just kind of hand it to you by the tail. Gross.
Thank
So
you.
there's a you go over, and on the side of the building you can see there's a trellis where like there's a plant growing that I think you could climb. Go ahead and make an athletics check. You'll get up there, but we're just gonna find out how dignified it is.
Athletics or acrobatics? This is important.
It can be acrobatics.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't help a lot, but that's an 11.
Yeah, like when you get to the top and you see her, you notice she's chuckling at you a little bit.
Oh
about,
gosh.
like, climbing. So this is not your first time seeing her in person, but it's the first time in a while. It's very dark out. She's got on a black cloak with a hood you can see is pushed down. Very, very short, dark hair. Think like Sinead O'Connor. And you can see that the hood is pushed back and there's no scar on her head. And she has a belt in her hand, and attached to that belt are the scabbards for 8 swords, and none of them match. And she's just holding it in her hand, and as you get onto the rooftop, she drops it. And I think you know that's a sign that, like, I'm not here to fight.
Okay.
She says to you out loud, "Do you even have a clue what the hell you're doing? You've stolen one of my nodes. You've killed, what, like 4 now? You took a server offline. You don't think Dad's going to notice? You are so in over your head. Would you just leave me alone?"
She's gonna just stand there and she's gonna fold her arms and she's gonna look at Kiadora and she's gonna say, "Like you left that entire team at the safe house alone?"
I gave you that locket so you could live your life. You have no clue what's going on here. You are in so over your head.
Well, then enlighten me.
Dad's gonna save the world, you know.
Who is Dad?
He's our dad.
Well, I know
He
Dad's
loves
not-
us. I don't. He's going to change the world so that we can live as we were meant to.
Why did I know what that thing in your little friend's head was?
The server?
The server.
Yeah, the
Has another
intellect
name,
devourer.
doesn't it?
Because
intellect
that's dad. I mean, it's in that dude, but you don't even know what these are, do you?
I know how they work.
Do you? You're supposed to be the smart one. You know, Dad wants me to get you to come over so that you can lead. I'm supposed to take orders from you, and you have no clue what. Do you even know what a network is?
I'm guessing it has something to do with the brains and the rats and the intellect devourer and the mind flayer.
Mm-hmm. Do you even know that you can read minds?
Wait, what?
Yeah, those little feelings you get. You reach out like a child who has no clue what they're doing and just pluck thoughts right from someone. Like, you're supposed to be special. It's bad enough Rose is in town, so I've got a walking dead spot just all over interfering with our operation here. But then you just... What? Why? Why would you kill my notes? It's bad enough you stole one. Now you got to go around just popping them.
You
I
guys
have
are
a job to do.
You guys are taking over people's minds and you're forcing them to do things they don't want to do.
Only the worst criminals. People who, by the way, you've killed. Right? Like, at least we make them useful.
What was out of game, what was the name of the woman the elven woman that led us into the trap?
Let me double check that real quick. Because I have that written down. Thera.
Thera. So, what? Thera leading us into that trap 5 years ago? What was that supposed to accomplish?
You guys were getting in the way. You don't even, like... What do you think I'm here for? Why do you think I'm in town?
Well, I'm starting to figure out that this is all connected to what happened in Reef due to our... Mm-hmm. And how is destroying and capturing magic users helping the cause of the magic users?
Oh, you think we're the ones after... Magic users are useful. So that's what... You know, the anti-arcs are from Quel'Doris, right? You know, they're like draining people's souls.
They're what?
Yeah. You don't know what that stone is, do you?
Freaking... You're just going to tell me?
That stone is the soul of a human wizard. Because that's what magic is. It's your soul. And they took it from him, and they put it in a little stone, and your friend used it to kill Klaus. You don't even know what you're doing. We are here for Mogren. Stay out of our way.
Why do you want Mogren?
Would you even understand if I told you?
Try me. I'm supposed to be the smart one, right?
He's connected.
Yes.
He's working with someone in Quel'Doris, and we don't know who, and we don't know how.
What is he trying? Do you know what he's trying to do with this person, this contact in Quel'Doris?
It involves the stones.
And what do you want to do with Mogren?
We want to turn him into a server.
You want to take over his brain?
Well, I mean, he's Mogren. He's a criminal. He's killed thousands. You really think You really think him and his body is doing better for the world as he is now? Let me put him to good use.
Dad's the mind player, isn't he?
That's what they call him. What does that matter?
Do you know where Mom is?
Yeah, she's at home.
She's at home.
She misses you.
She's at home where?
I'm not going to tell you where we live.
So you want me to work with you and help you, but you're not going to tell me where our
I
parents
want
live?
you to leave me alone. I am tired of being compared to the wonderful Daisy. I want a chance to prove myself because you know what? I'm the one who found them. I'm the one who tried. So no, I just want you to go away. Is what I want.
I was trying. I found you.
No, I found you.
You think so? You think they're well connected?
You
aren't even well connected.
You don't even know who Ileana is. You don't even know how she's lied to you. She kidnapped us from our loving parents and then told us that they hated us.
Ileana never told me that Mom hated us.
Well, Mom didn't come with, did she? So I guess we weren't worth it.
No. Mom loves us. Ileana loves us.
Maybe Ileana loves you.
She spent time with all of us growing up.
Yeah, and turning me into a weapon for her little war.
What do you mean, turning you into a weapon? That's what all of us are, isn't it? I just finally figured out that our brother's the white shield. He's not a weapon. I'm not a weapon. Raised the way I was. We're all weapons. It's a war, Keodora.
We didn't have to be.
And what would we have been instead?
Royalty.
What?
Dad's gonna rule the world. He's gonna be emperor. And when he fixes everything and we get rid of everyone who hates and we get rid of everyone who's mean and we replace them with... We're going to fix everything. Just stay out of the way so we can do it.
So, your version of a better world is this whatever Dad's created in Abrexia? That's better?
We're not done in Abrexia.
And what are you trying to do in Abrexia? Because all I know is that mute magic.
Progress takes pain. Okay, it's not going to be nice as we're getting there, but the hard work has to be done, and you don't have the stomach for it, obviously. If you make
you have no idea what I've seen and done since I was a child, Keodora. What have you been doing your whole life until you found Dad?
She reaches down and she picks up the belt. And she clasps it on. And she turns her back to you, and over her shoulder she says, "If you force me to fight you, I will kill you. Dad'll be mad, but I'll face the consequences."
Keodora, where are they?
And she casts a spell that I think May knows enough about magic to recognize as Dimension Door. It's a high-level teleport. She's gone.
Wait, stop. No wonder Jasper has so many problems with his family. Okay, she's gonna sit there for a minute and she's gonna just kind of go over. I'm guessing there's like a little, top to the roof, and she's gonna just go sit in the corner, the edge of the roof, and stare at where the dimension door was, and just so good with people, and I can't even get along with my own sister. Great. She's gonna get up after a minute and go back down to where the others are. And I don't think the group has probably seen her. I mean, they've seen her fight, they've seen her handle stuff. I don't think they've ever seen her like, she is really angry right now. She had no idea who she was. She has no idea who her family are. They're all here in town. Ileana sent her here. She doesn't know anything. And she is not used to knowing nothing. She is brilliant. She read like every book in the library at the conservatory like 12 times. Yeah, she's pissed.
So we're coming up on about 10 minutes to where we usually end. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to talk and unpack and whatever as a group, but we're going to close it at 4 and we can open up again next week, either with the whole group back at the Emporium in the morning or continuing this conversation. But I do want to give you that quick little 10-minute warning before you have your scene here. And go.
I really want to yeet her off the rooftop.
You'll get your chance to yeet her. You'll.
I don't have a yeet in my book, in my kill book yet. Like, that's like a goal. Next to putting somebody in a gelatinous cube.
You have interesting goals.
She has a book of all the people she's killed.
A little black book.
Yeah.
So as May comes back up, she's got, I mean, the shadow thing is like a little, she has like light hair, but like the roots are like dark, and she, like the shadow thing that she usually has is just a little more intense, and she has got her arms folded, and she is looking, she like makes eye contact with Akarin, just like, we need to talk. And she is pissed. I mean, the fact that like she hasn't set off anything right now is like taking a lot of self-control. Because, sorcerer and all that, like, there's a lot of magic and other stuff brewing right under the surface right now.
So, May, was that Jasper you were talking to?
No.
I love Vareth so much.
That was
Somebody
what? Been looking for. She's going to glance around and be like, we need to figure out the Jasper situation, but it's the middle of the night. We need to talk. Let's get back to the Emporium. We need somewhere more private.
I don't know. Is she going to send any more of these stupid rats after us?
Probably. And then she's going to...
It's a port city. It's literally infested with rats. These things could be hiding anywhere and everywhere, and probably
I have special stuff to put around the cracks. Like you put pepper at the bottom of a crack, and that keeps the rats out.
There you go.
Old Louisiana trick.
We thought it was cinnamon, or is that for ants?
That's for ants.
She's ticked, but she's gonna turn on the mental thing, and then she's gonna now she's mad about everything, because now she knows how to do this, which she knows no one else can do, and she's gonna turn it on and turn it off, and then be like, oh, turn it back on again, and it actually like a little harder than she meant to. Like it's gonna be like come into your heads a little stronger than like. It's usually pretty subtle.
Look at you like, whoa, calm down there.
She's like, we can think on Jasper and plan, but we need to get back to the Emporium because I have some things to tell you guys.
Fair game.
Sounds like a plan.
So the walk back is fairly uneventful. It's very late at night. I think you can.
Can I trip a drunk?
In her bedroom and what's that?
Can I trip a drunk as we're passing by?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. No, she
So-
does.
You're
She
dope
does
at-
it a lot. She does it a
You're
lot. She
dope at
starts-
tripping
yeah.
drunks.
Yes, I am very dope at tripping drunks.
I
I
just
think this time, with the larger group, the drunks aren't going to try and hit on you. You get your friends with you. It's a little bit more safe. Not
For
that you
them,
couldn't
Yes,
handle
you're right
them.
for them.
It's more safe for them. Yeah, exactly.
if she trips a drunk, I'm just gonna very quickly run over and make sure they're not bleeding or anything.
Oh, that's
It's gonna be a
Just
thing.
try to get home, man. You're a big guy.
Yes, I'm aware.
Keep on keeping on, big guy.
I like this guy.
We're not keeping him,
Let's do
Sure.
and that's why we're not keeping him. It's not housebroken.
So when they get back to the Emporium, May's gonna look around and she's gonna see Ikasi's in her room, and she's gonna look at Vareth and say, I need to meet with these two privately for just a minute before we come get you. Do you want to go get set up in your room? And she's gonna point down the hall to Ikasi's room.
Oh, well, sure,
Apparently that's his
absolutely.
room now.
I'll allow you to have your moments.
Thank you. There's some stuff there. That's Jasper's stuff. We'll get to it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just dig around in there. See if you find anything useful. He's nobody anyway.
Amerity, whatever, Kay. And she's gonna just motion to Nikolai and Amerity to come in the room with her. And she's gonna stay in her head with them because people might be listening. And she's gonna look dead at Amerity and she's gonna say, "What did your son look like?"
I didn't think this part through.
Well,
I never thought I'd get this far.
we know what your son likes. We've seen him before. Let's pull that up. Actually, you know what? This is a good transition point. So previously, all of you have shared a dream, and you saw some visions in that dream. So let's go back and find that portion where you saw.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what it was.
Oh, you didn't realize that was your son, huh?
No, because I just didn't connect the two.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just going to read that section. So a couple of nights ago, all of the party had a shared dream because they're united by destiny and because I'm a dungeon master. So whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was a section from that dream where they saw two of these NPCs who are important. Your awareness fades, returning on a fire. Soft flames licking up the sides of a pile of logs, a rough stone chimney. You feel yourself pull back, take in the scene. Two men sit at a table in a rough cabin. One is young, human-looking, perhaps 20 but not quite. His hair an almost unnatural gold, his eyes a bright topaz. Sitting across from him is a half-elf man, his hair a fiery red. They are dressed in simple clothing. They eat stew. They speak, but you cannot hear them. They finish, and the older man takes the bowls off to the side. He returns, and the two stand facing each other. The younger man concentrates, and a small ball of light appears in his hand. It shines the color of his eyes. He tosses it to the other man, then another. Once he has three, the two begin to juggle them back and forth. The older man adds a ball of glimmering gold, then another, then another. You lose track as the bouncing balls of energy continue until the young man drops one and they all wink out in an instant. The older man moves in to speak, but your awareness is pulling back. Through the open door of the cabin to where a suit of plate armor sits outside on the porch, glinting with a fresh shine, a shield nearby propped up against the wall of cabin, turned to hide its face, not 10 yards from the still warm corpse of a pair of tieflings. Your awareness fades. Now those two men, behind the scenes, the elder of the two, the redhead, is the White Shield, who is also May's brother, part of these triplets. And the younger man is Lirin, Amerity's son, who you lost 9 years ago. You haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So those are the people you guys are going to be discussing next week when we return to Unlicensed Magic. So let's say goodbye, everyone. Thank you, any of you who joined us. The recording is going to stay up on Twitch at least for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try and figure out how to put it on YouTube and stuff. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you so much to my wonderful players, and I hope to see you all back next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, bye bye.